Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Solve for Blade. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my content, and welcome back to War on the Sea, and our continuing playthrough of the Let's Play in which we're featuring the War in the East. Anyway, I just finished up doing the painstakingly, agonizingly slow process of assigning all of these scout planes. And I've discovered what causes the flights to stop working. And sadly, we're going to have to deal with this a few more days in the future because of what I discovered. So, you know how we lost planes in various places? Like Trincomalee just had a bunch of airplanes shot down yesterday dealing with the battle group that showed up. We've got all of our blends, but we lost all our swordfish, right? Over the course of the day change, we got a swordfish back. The Fulmars are actually out scouting. Hurricanes, I think we're down 2 hurricanes right now. So the swordfish and the hurricanes are going to need to repopulate. And at day change, one of these planes gets repopulated back into the pool. And when that happens, the repopulation of these planes going back into the pool, it causes all the flights to bug out. So because we have airplanes repopulating back into Calcutta and back into Trincomalee, and possibly we have planes repopulating back into Colombo even. Do we? Fulmars are out. Yeah, I think we have Catalinas that are going to be repopulating here. These flights are going to be bugging out. So what I've done is, to make the process of me having to resend out all these scouts quicker, is I've put circular marks down on the locations where the scout planes are going to be patrolling, and I'm just going to leave them there so that I can more quickly be like, okay, scout, you fly here, and I can streamline the process a little bit faster, as having to, I don't know, figure out where they're going each time. I'll already know where they're going. So that's the thought process there. Anyway, so I saved you the agony of having to watch all of that. It seems we're also on day 14, which means that our capitals actually got stuff brought to them, and we got a few more command points, I think. Anyway, I noticed something interesting this time. So when I looked at Bombay, there's like 26, 26, and 430 supplies. And that had me scratching my head, like, isn't it supposed to be 30, 30, and like 500? And where's the troops? So then I went searching to see if we got shafted at the rest of the places. And Adue Toll, for instance, got 30, 30, 450, like normal. Although a few troops. And then I looked over here at Colombo, and we got 38, 36, which is making me think that Colombo got a larger shipment of engineering and fuel this time around than Bombay did. But it all equals out in the end because it's all the 90 engineering and 90 fuel. It's just that one base got a little bit more than the other. I found that to be oddly interesting and arbitrary, and why did that happen? But okay, that's fine because I don't have to ship it here. This is a place where I want the engineering and fuel to stack up a little bit, so that works for me. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start getting this stuff shipped. We've got Bombay Merchant Group up here, and they are going to manage cargo. We will skip these two for now. Okay, this isn't tanker, so he takes fuel. This is the engineering hauler, so he'll take that. You're for supplies, I believe. And you can grab troops, I suppose. So that means we could throw a little bit of troops onto these guys. And that all works out. So now let's get this all heading down. To Trin, where we're kind of stocking up. So Colombo, we're just going to let the shipments that come in on its own stock up at Colombo, and the shipments from Bombay and Adu Atoll will go to Trin. So Trin is going to basically get double the amount of supply and stuff than Colombo does, with the thought process that we're going to, I think, upgrade Trincomalee's airbase to level 4 in the future. Because again, I want Ceylon to be able to hold its own, and dealing with that battleship and aircraft carrier battle group that showed up here off of Ceylon, they just barely held their own. I mean, honestly, that fleet could have kept pushing forward, and there's a good chance the heavy cruiser would have made it just fine to bombard. We might have been able to take out the battleship, but they chose to turn around instead. So at the moment, the firepower just isn't here to deal with that fleet. I mean, we dealt with it only because they chose to turn around, but we couldn't wipe it out. So I want Ceylon a bit stronger. And that will free up the aircraft carrier to operate more northerly to protect these weaker installations along here. Again, that's the thought process. How that pans out, I don't know, because I have a feeling that the computer is going to fixate a lot on Trincomalee, and that's going to make me want to pull the aircraft carrier down here to be able to wipe out the fleets it sends at it. But yeah, it depends on how fixated the computer gets on Trincomalee. Alright, Adu Merchant Group. Manage cargo. These are for troops. This guy is here for hauling supply, I believe. This guy's for engineering. This would be the oiler, right? And these two we can haul whatever we feel like, which is, I suppose, the leftover troops. Okay. Alright, so the merchants are moving the stuff, and the stuff is being moved. Other than that, we've got the flights assigned. Now I think it's just time to get our carrier operating where we really want it to operate. And I'm not sure where we want it to operate quite yet. I guess we'll leave it where it is for now. Let's go ahead and get the ball running. I did something slightly different with my scouts from the Carrier Task Force. Again, I used Formidable to do most of the combat air patrol work. But this time around, I used 4 of the martlets for kind of the interior ring, and I used 4 of the Fulmars for the exterior ring, if you will. So that frees up a few more martlets and uses a couple more Fulmars, as I think we'll need the martlets for in case we end up getting in a carrier duel and we need fighters to take on fighters. I feel like our eyes are pretty good in this area. Like from the B in Bay of Bengal all the way down and around, I feel like we've got pretty good coverage. Here, it's a little spotty. That's really why I want the carrier to operate up here more, because of the spottiness up there. Our troops have failed to take Port Blair. Huh? They weren't even trying to take Port Blair. We already lost Port Blair. I don't know why that popped up, but okay. Maybe we still had a few troops left on the island, even though they had captured the capture point. I thought that if they captured it, it means they completely decimated me. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, it looks like that that strange happening's happening again. Which the last time that happened, this was a German merchant pretending to be something it wasn't, and it was painful to kill. It actually killed a fair number of our planes. So I just want to see if this is a trend, that this is like commonly going to be that German merchant. So I'm going to go investigate it, but I'm going to investigate it a little differently this time. I'm going to actually use Fulmars. Yeah, HE's fine. Oh, we're right on the edge of range. And if it is there, I'm going to level bomb it. I'm not going to mess around getting anywhere near it. And it turned into a submarine, the same thing we saw the last time this happened. This is going to be a bit sad. If this happens much more, I might just completely ignore it, because it's a little cheesy that the game is like, hey, you have a target over here you can kill for some command points. Do I get a command point for this ship? I mean, it is a pretty beefy merchant. I should. But it's definitely something I can exploit, and it's being exploitable because, okay, it's straight up flying the German flag this time. It's like I'm not even gonna pretend. Okay, so line ahead, form up. Let's come up to about 7,000. We should probably fast forward this a bit. This is a slow process. to be honest. This one feels like a miss. That one felt like a miss. Some of these definitely are not in line. Doesn't feel good either. It's one of the few that felt good. So like 3 or 4 felt okay, but the rest of them felt like they were gonna come just off of the edge to the starboard side. But anyway, let's watch the action, I suppose. So about the time that the planes fly over here is about when the bombs should land. About now. Alright, we got a few more hits than I was expecting. But quite a few did come off to the right like I said they would. Now, in previous games, or I mean in War in the Sea, Vanilla, and previous mods, that would have been an absolute sinking of a merchant ship. But in this particular playthrough, the ships have felt a lot beefier, like they can take a lot more damage than usual. So I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to do it, but in other playthroughs, that many hits to a merchant by bombs would have absolutely frickin' sent it to the bottom of the ocean almost instantaneously. The fact that this thing is still floating has me absolutely shocked. But then a lot of the damage did hit the exact same spot though too. A lot of those bombs hit right there, center amidships, and there wasn't a whole lot of damage on the bow and the stern. Bow, stern. We'll fast forward it. Yeah, let's get those fires roaring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 real bombs and 2 duds. And duds are supposed to do a little bit of damage, not a lot, but you know, they're a dud. That really should have been enough to sink this thing. I mean, 6 hits like that would have sunk a, or would have been near sinking like a heavy cruiser before. Now we can't even sink a merchant with it? That's just unreal. Okay, we can't sink a merchant with 6 bomb hits. Heavy, heavy. That's just... don't know what to say about that. I'll ignore it. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ignore this from now on. We know what it is. We don't know why it's doing this, but we're going to ignore it from now on. Oh, let's give it another click of speed here. Want to try to do the days usually at 300 and the nights at 3000. Unless something's happening, in which case we slow it down. That's another thing that changed since my previous playthroughs. I think I had like a 120x time compression in my previous playthroughs because I changed the time compressions a bit if I remember, and I preferred the 120 over 300. 300 feels just a little bit too fast, and 60 feels too slow. But I remember 120 feeling just about right to be the standard time compression. Yeah, it's nighttime, so and now our planes are gonna vanish, right? Yes. Fuck. God, I hate this part. Alright, I've got these lines here, so let's do it. And no, formidable is who we do cap with. Launch air. 1. That's the first one. He's easy enough. New air. Hurricane. painful. This is painful. No. Damn it. Oh, he's got ordnance. I don't want him to have ordnance. Alright, well, it is what it is. It's gonna cause the airfield to shut down every now and then. But I don't want to screw with it right now. Okay, that's one round of planes. Now we speed up till the carrier says I'm ready to launch. And back to the carrier. Formidable. Launch. Calcutta. I mean, having this air up here is absolutely vital, so it's not like I can just ignore it and play without air. If you play without air, well, if any of you guys watch Wolfpack and you see what happens in Wolfpack's episodes, it's because he doesn't scout. Most of his pain and suffering playing Defense of the East is because he does not do his job scouting. He's terrible at it. Yeah, that's my number one critique of Wolfpack, is he needs to get more planes in the air. Otherwise, you know, his content's very manicured, very edited, very interesting to watch. It's probably, well, it's far more interesting than watching me from an entertainment standpoint. Watching me, you can learn better tactics and better gameplay from if you're watching to learn game mechanics, I'm probably a better source. But if you're watching for entertainment, Wolfpack's far more fun to watch. There's no doubt about that. But Wolfpack does do a fairly decent job of surface engagements, though I would also critique that. I don't think you should do surface engagements at all. You should absolutely avoid surface engagements at all costs. However, surface engagements are definitely more fun for the viewers to watch, and I have a feeling a lot of the reasons that Wolfpack is doing the surface engagements is because they are entertainment to watch. You know, he's about making content for his viewers, probably more so than getting the meta correct, if you will. But yeah, because he does do surface engagements so often, he's got the basic mechanics of how to do it down fairly well. How to start with a full pattern at spot and how to work into a narrow pattern, etc. But where he does go a little wrong is he gets a little reckless and he charges into closer range, where smaller ships can do far more damage to larger ships. Like, you know, if you get too close, destroyer can, you know, ammo rack a cruiser, for instance. So you want to maintain that range advantage as much as possible, which does mean you're going to miss more. But, you know, it's better to burn more ammo than to lose a ship. But yeah, if you're following my rules of engagement, you don't engage on the surface unless it's an absolute emergency. Big no-no. It's just a way to risk your ships and possibly lose them for no reason. Okay, Calcutta. Last hurricane here. Alright, you've already got your 2 out. Madras. Mars. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We are on 3, right? Yeah, I think so. Ooh, no. Alright, and then fast forward. Okay, now we're on 4. Which is the last martlet going to the port side, or well, to the west. I don't know if it's port. We could be traveling in a wrong direction for that, but okay, we're done there. We're done there. 4. That should be the last one here. So that's also kind of annoying, is that we should be able to launch all our planes like we used to, because we are not launching them with ordnance. You used to be able to just do them all at the same time. You didn't have to uncheck the clock. Course 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this should be the last one up here. We could send out more, but I just can't be bothered. This is, well, behind the lines, if you will. I'm not expecting ships to be able to get back here in the first place. Alright, now we're switching over to full Mars. And are we out as far as we're supposed to be? We are. Interesting. Something. I have a feeling we might have screwed something up here. Yeah, we did this at the wrong distance level. All 4 of those interior fighters are not where they're supposed to be. Okay, so done here, done here, done here. Trincomalee, we're on 5. One, 2, 3, 4, that should be 5. Alright, that one's done. Okay, we did that arc, so now it's this arc. Right, and we should be on 6 for Trincomalee. Six for Colombo. Six for Adu. Alright, that should be all of the ground airfields. Now it's just getting the carrier done. Okay, we did the top, we did that arc, so now we're doing this arc. We have one more arc to do, and the carrier will be done. We'll have our flights retasked. Painfully grueling exercise that we should not have to do. The only way I have figured out that I know to fix it is to go back to the original way that planes replenish, which I don't believe uses supply and engineering. It just magically magics the new planes in. And that's not as difficult. But at some point I might end up doing that. I might just say screw it and go back to the magic planes, because having to reassign these flights is just awful. Pomar. Done. And there we go. So yeah, we have the martlets flying too far out. So what's going to happen is, instead of being able to fully circumnavigate, they're going to go out, they're going to fly a certain amount of arc, and then they're going to run out of endurance, and they're going to come back in. Because they're set up, one going north, one going south, one going east, one going west, they're going to still kind of complete the scouting purposes, just not the way I like. I like to have an interior ring and an exterior ring. Now I'm just going to have an exterior ring that's getting more coverage. Oh, I don't want to have to redo another set of flights in this episode again. Nothing happened today, nothing to shoot at. We might have an episode where nothing happens, because I'm really not feeling the reassignments of these flights one more time. Well, gotta do it. How close are we to being done with this foolishness? Calcutta's finished. Calcutta's full, I should say. Trin has a swordfish to go. Colombo. I think Colombo only had 3 cats, so I think Colombo's done. So, really, we got one more day because of Trin, and then it's back to normal. Well, it's back to normal until we lose more planes from an airfield that has supply. Like, we could lose planes from Viz, for instance, and we wouldn't notice anything until we put supply there. Kind of silly, I suppose. Almost makes you not want to put supply. Alright. Formidable launch aircraft. Martlet. Let's get him on the correct interior ring, which is down at this level. There we go. New air. Okay, that's done. Okay, last of the inner ring. Done. Last one for Madras, I think. Hey, stop that. Alright, now the outer ring. Which we're going to use full Mars. Oh wait, we need to rank it up. Alright, that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. Trin. Stop doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. number 2 of the outer ring. And back to the carrier. Number 3 on the outer ring. This is 1, that's 2. That's 3. And the last Fulmar on the outer ring. And we should be good to get the ball back fully underway. One, two, three, four. I see 5 flying from A to Atoll, and I see what looks to be a spot missing. Not that it's that important, but how did that happen? Encounter Trincomalee. That is carrier-borne aircraft. They're sneaking through this gap again, I think. I think this is like the approach vector, and I think the computer is fixated on Trincomalee. Alright, with that being said, Get the aircraft carrier adjusted. See if it can't respond. What are we gonna do here? Send up hurricanes, course. Go intercept that guy. I want to make sure it is actually carrier-borne aircraft. Not exactly the type of battles I like to engage in here. This type of stuff I like to ignore normally. But I want to verify that the icon I'm looking at is indeed a dive bomber slash torpedo bomber from a carrier. And I'm not getting a float plane confused. Really? You guys aren't gonna find it? This is awful. Is that an island or something? It is. Well, that's a navigation hazard. Alright, this is ridiculous. We're not finding this plane, evidently. Which has me thinking it's not what I think it is. Alright, well, let's just run out yonder this way as far as we can. See if we don't run into any type of fleet out here. What? (3-1) base integrity 93%. Okay, I'm a little annoyed by that. That was actually strategic bombers. How the hell didn't I find them? I'm thinking it was dive bombers from a carrier. Getting fixated. And now we have fighters. Right. Head that way, so you're coming back on a little bit of a different vector as your RTBing. There's something out here. Still haven't spotted anything. What is the weather? 2? That should be pretty clear. Seven ships, okay. $452. Make a beeline. Okay, 4 more. Ignore. I'm getting locked in on this target. Something could be happening elsewhere on the map. I'm not gonna notice. Carrier's heading outbound? Columbus ready to launch. Catalina's something like that. So we have a carrier within striking distance of this A2 ATOL merchant group. We have nothing to launch. Trincomalee. Can't launch yet. I don't like the fact that these planes are going out without fighter support, but I don't think the Hurricanes can even get remotely near where they need to go. I mean, maybe? There you are. Engines ready to launch. We haven't had that. Let's go with semi-armor piercing. Just make a beeline down here. Catalinas, you can make more of a beeline. Hurricanes, beeline it. If I jump into combat here, I would probably have about equal odds if I can pull whatever fighters are in the sky away from the fleet. But I'll take fairly heavy casualties in order to inflict casualties. And then I'll put the fleet on cooldown, possibly causing the following planes coming in to have a hard time finding the fleet. So I think we're just gonna have to let this group go. They're not gonna be able to help us. I think that could be a problem. We need to get cap over that merchant fleet. I think the merchant fleet's been spotted. Alright, the hurricanes are starting to run out of endurance. I have to take this engagement, which means the only offense I'm going to have is these 3 Catalinas. 3 Catalinas can certainly sink an aircraft carrier. But it's not the engagement I want. I would rather have the hurricanes here along with them, but I have to take it now because my cap is out of endurance. So, to tactical we go. Oh, what time is it? I didn't even realize that. We could have waited till 1800 and possibly gotten away with a cheap shot. Okay, cats. close are we? We've got a battleship in this group. Heavy cruiser. Carrier. What is that, a Nagara? I think Nagara 4 stacks. Or is it Tenryu? Only one of them's 4 stacks. Three is our target. Finding it interesting that they decided to strategic bomb. They could have done far more damage with the battleship. Especially if they turn the fleet around now and come in under the cover of darkness. God damn it, hurricanes are out of position to help. They're diving on me. Go that way. Brake. Go ahead and get an altitude. And brake. We need to separate this group so they're not easy pickings. Okay, one cat has the safety of hurricanes over it. This cat needs to come back down. And hard over. There's more fighters yet. This is... KU. Target 3. Attack. Where's the other cat? I don't think you're gonna get there, but target 3 and attack. And cat 9, you and I are gonna get personal. lost Catalina. How far away am I? Drop. What? No, I threw him under her? Ah, Nikes. I threw him under her. I dropped too late. Wait, there's a can alive? How the hell is that possible? Alright, 2 torps into the aircraft carrier. Of course, one was a dud. Alright, well we at least damaged a high value unit. Because the cover of night's coming, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get these blends here. If we can get the blends here, we might be able to finish off this carrier. Though, like I've said, these ships have gotten tankier from when I used to play. Seems harder to sink ships these days. And our hurricanes are getting kills, but they almost feel like meaningless kills because of how easy it is for the AI to replenish its aircraft and stuff, where, you know, the human being has extra hurdles that it has to deal with. So every plane I lose is a significant ordeal, where every plane the AI loses really isn't a big problem for them. I would really love if this game was multiplayer. I think this game, the way it's set up right now, would be perfect. Absolutely perfect for multiplayer campaigns. So 3 hurricanes versus a remaining 0. We'll have to wait for that to play out before we end this combat. Well, you're still smoking a little bit, but I don't see a fire breaking out and sinking this thing miraculously. That'll just be wishful thinking. Is this last 0 gonna get rid of all my hurricanes? It's not even a 0. Well, how about you speed up? Rocket? We don't have any rockets on these hurricanes. Speed 235. Hey, other hurricane, why don't you speed up too? Up on 500 yards here. Just unleash. Got it. Alright, we can leave. Retreat. Moderate damage to the carrier, and we shot down 6 aircraft. We lost 6 aircraft. 2 of those being Catalinas, Ep.4 evidently being hurricanes. Okay, that's fine. Catalina, go ahead and RTB. And Mr. Blenheim, you and I are going to get personal. I am going to attempt to force you to not turn around. Okay, the game is going to want you to turn around. I'm going to not want you to turn around, please. No. You listen to me. It's low on fuel. Really? That doesn't seem right. Well, that's absolutely not right. So now the way they deal with you trying to, that sucks. So I used to bomb carriers and stuff in previous series after 1800 by forcing the planes to stay airborne to do their attack, forcing them to come in later. It seems that the game now magically makes the planes run out of fuel at 1800, forcing them to turn around. I think that's asinine, stupid, dislike it immensely. Really very bad idea in my opinion. If you have endurance, you should be able to continue to fly after 1800. Just don't like it. Don't like this mechanic at all. Let's go to tactical for the heck of it. I don't think we're gonna be able to do anything because I think the fleet is still under the cover of what's it called? Yeah, it's magically invisible right now because of the fight. Alright, well, this episode has gone... It's been an episode. Let's just say it's been an episode. I'm starting to see a pattern down here. But the moment I move the carrier to exploit this pattern, something's going to show up here. I just know it. Wait a second, I see planes flying. Really? Boy oh boy do I ever see planes flying. What the... What have we got going on here? Right. Oh, this is whacked out. I think I'm gonna have to alter this this setting to go back to the normal plane replenishment. This is a little broken right now. Can we get through this day with broken planes? So I'd like to go another day. But man, look at all those planes. This is insanity right now. Boy, nothing's getting through that air search. Our Air Force just like tripled or quadrupled in size. Tall. Not all cargo. Well, it's almost 1800. This is going to be a rather quiet day. And my gut is telling me they're going to show up here. Now that my carrier is out of position, they're going to appear up here. I just know it. Bombay Merchant Group. Unload all cargo. Yeah. Let's see what happens with the planes today. I might have to end it here if it's all wacky again. Yeah, it's still wacky. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna wrap up this episode. I'm gonna go and figure out how to revert this. There's a replenishment setting in, I believe, the config of the override folder that says like you can have 2 shore-based installation planes recovered a day. And basically, I think there's a true-false toggle on whether or not that whole system is used. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Basically, I gotta turn this off and go back to the normal way of doing the planes. Little Fantasy Island flashback. For any of you old enough to know what the hell Fantasy Island is. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Salterblade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please smash that like button, consider subscribing, and until the next time all, peace.